Alright, next video, this one's called simplifying. I like to think about simplifying as backwards equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions, you use multiplication to create equivalent fractions. Simplifying is just a fancy word for using division to find equivalent fractions. It's a little bit different. I won't say challenging. It's a little bit different because you can't divide by any number you want, but you can multiply by any number you want. And by number, I mean fractional form of 1. Let's see what simplifying looks like. So typically, you will get a question that says simplify to simplest form, or what is 8/24 in simplest form. Easy. First, I will show you the easy way, the way that I prefer finding simplest form. It takes very little thought, and as I told you a long time ago, if you know how to divide by 2, 3, 5, and 7, you will be able to simplify very easily. So I will always ask myself, can I divide 8 and 24 by 2? If the answer is yes, then I stop and I actually do that. Notice I'm using division this time for simplification, and I'm still using a fractional form of 1, 2/2. So now you just divide straight across the top. 8 divided by 2, and that comes out as 4. 24 divided by 2, that comes out as 12. I haven't done any challenging math yet. I just knew that I could divide both of them by 2. I am not yet in simplest form because I have to now make sure that I can't divide 4 and 12 by anything else. Can I divide 4 by 2? Yes. Can I divide 12 by 2? Yes. So guess what I'm going to do? Divide by 2/2 again. I will use easy numbers until I get to the very end. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. 12 divided by 2 equals 6. Again, I have a simpler version of 8/24. It's just smaller terms. When they say simple, they just mean smaller numbers. Also equivalent though. 2/6 is equivalent to 4/12, which is equivalent to 8/24. Again, I need to make sure that I can't divide by anything. 2, I can only divide 2 by 2. So, can I divide 6 by 2? Yes. So now I need to again divide by 2/2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. A lot of you guys might be saying, well, Mr. Caslow, I knew that I could divide 8 and 24 by 8. Well, good for you. Not everybody knows that. If you knew that, cool, you can do that. Now, what we're going to get into. So this will always work no matter how big the number is. If you know that you can divide it by 2 and you know that you can divide the other one by 2, fantastic. We will get into some examples that need simplified that have very large numerator and a very large denominator. And you probably will need to know your divisibility rules 4, 2, 3, 5, and 7 to simplify that one at all. Alright, so the less easy way. This way requires you to know your facts and also how to factor. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that same fraction and we're going to split it. So I have 8 on the top, 24 on the bottom, and I just need a list of factors. So again, when I mean factors, it's like the factor rainbow. So I know that 1 and 8 are both factors of 8. I know that 2 is a factor of 8. And if I were to follow the factor rainbow, what connects to 2? 2 times 4 gives me 8. Is 3 a factor? No. Is 4 a factor? Yes, it's already there. So all of my factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. So I have a list. Same thing down here, 1 and 24. The two easiest factors to figure out. Is 2 a factor of 24? Yes. 2 times 12 gives me 24. Is 3 a factor of 24? Yes. 3 times 8. Is 4 a factor of 24? Yes. 4 times 6. And then is 5 a factor? No. So I have all of my factors of 24. I have all of my factors of 8. What you're allowed to do with this list. So notice how 2 and 2 were both what are called common factors of 8 and 24. That's what you're looking for, is something that you can divide both 8 and 24 by. So I divided by the common factor 2/2. I did it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. That means that each time 2 was a common factor of both the numerator and the denominator. Now, you can use this list in other ways. So I can go up. I can say, well, 4 is a factor of 8. Is 4 a factor of 24? Yes, it is. Could I have divided by 4 over 4? And the answer is yes. If we take 8 24ths and divide by 4 over 4, 8 divided by 4 is 2. 24 divided by 4 is 6. It's just a little bit of a shortcut to get to that simpler form. Okay? Keep on going down the list. 8's a factor of 8. Is 8 a factor of 24? Yes. And this factor actually has a special name. It's called the greatest. Notice how it's the greatest common. A word for common would be same. It's the greatest common factor, often called the GCF, greatest common factor. So all that means is it's the factor that both of them have in common, and it's the biggest one they both have in common. So yes, 2 and 4, they're common factors, but there's only one greatest common factor, and that would be 8. So those of you that at the beginning would have said, well, I could have divided by 8 over 8, you're absolutely correct. And when you divide by the greatest common factor, you immediately are given simplest form. So divide by the greatest common factor in fractional form of 1 form. 8 divided by 8 gives you 1. 24 divided by 8 gives you 3. And 1/3 cannot be simplified anymore. So this is your simplest form. Okay, so this, oops, all of this was the less easy way, but you have to know your facts.